I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight is Future Plans. And that is because as we approach the holidays now, a lot of people can be thinking in a very optimistic way about their future. And the stars are with you, because there's a lot of indications that if you're serious about your future, this is the right time to start making plans. And that is because there is a wonderful trine of the lights. Today, Mars and the Sun in Libra are trining the Moon in Gemini. Gemini does rule plans and communication and easy transitional change, and Libra rules partnership and peace and compromise and the law and legal agreements or settlements or treaties or even truces. And so through some sort of good negotiation, a future plan that can be more peaceful or a little easier on everybody is possible. And it also could be good for your health and your bank book. And the reason why is the 3 planets in the air signs are all trining the sign of Aquarius, which rules the future. And so your future could be looking up if you can put together some good plans. And so besides the fact that you might be concentrating on a partnership matter, which is what Libra rules, or on some sort of compromise, or working out some sort of legal settlement, you may instead want to be working on better communication. And that's because that Sun and Mars and Libra are trining the Moon today in Gemini. Gemini rules easy communication among friends and pals and buddies and casual acquaintances or even your neighbors. And it also rules easy transitional change. You know, not big drastic change, but something that is a change that can be a little easier on you and other people as well. And Gemini rules short journeys. It does rule plans because it rules all short forms of communication, such as advertising and journalism and marketing and promotions. And Gemini rules the agent or the middleman, the person that is able to bring others together so that maybe they can work out a compromise or make some sort of deal. And so that is all well aspected right now, particularly since that Moon in Gemini is at 5 degrees today. 5 is the number of Gemini, so that is great. The Moon's in exactly the right spot. But another unique thing is happening today that we should take note of, and that is that the Moon in Gemini at 5 degrees in its orbit is precisely in perfect alignment with Uranus in Taurus, the sign right behind Gemini, which is also at 5 degrees. So the Moon and Uranus are in perfect alignment. Well, Taurus is a fixed financial sign. And so it can be that the future plans that you could be making, or thinking about at least, involve large sums of money. Or they could involve some sort of costly item, something that's very costly, but of very high quality, very good value. So you could be interested in something like that, or planning for something like that, or maybe you could be thinking of asking Santa for something like that. But that is possible as well. Remember, because these planets trine Aquarius, which rules the future. So today is a really good day to plan for your future. And that in particular is because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and it rules the future. It also rules sudden surprising change, which could occur in your investments since Uranus is in Taurus. And so those things are very positive indications that it might be pretty easy now for you to make future plans. There is another trine going on though, and that's in the water signs. And that is because Venus has now moved into Scorpio, and it is conjuncting Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and also of Virgo. It's the planet of the mind. and that Mercury and Venus in Scorpio are trining Neptune in Pisces, and together those three planets are trining the sign of Cancer. And so since all the water signs rule healing and they rule our emotions, this is a time when a lot of people might be making future plans because they have more sympathetic feelings toward others. It can be that you can understand a family member a little better, or you can be around your loyal old friends right now, or you can be around people who are very loyal supporters of justice, since Scorpio does rule justice. So between the fact that the water signs rule healing, they also, particularly Pisces, rules charity and forgiveness, and that can help give us more sympathetic feelings as well. So you have a lot to look forward to. And in fact, I would say that for sure, this is a time when you can really choose your own path right now. So this is a good time just for you to be making your own future plans. Not only because there's a trine in the air signs and another trine in the water signs, but there's a third trine in the earth signs. And that is because that Uranus in Taurus is trining Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and together those three planets are trining the sign of Virgo. And so there is an emphasis now on practical reality and good problem solving. And so if you could concentrate on your long-term goals, which is what Capricorn represents, and you could make some constructive work plan to reach those goals, you could be very successful in 2020, next year, when Jupiter goes into Capricorn, and it too is going to be involved in this trine among the earth signs, which would be great for everybody. However, there will still be hurdles to surmount, and that is going to require patience and persistence from you. And that is because that Sun and Mars in Libra are both being squared by Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. And that simply means there can be legal battles, that's what Libra rules, with Mars there especially, and financial problems because Mars and Pluto are squaring each other. There can be legal battles and there can be financial problems, but they may be among the higher ups, the people that are in top management in large corporations or government agencies. Those people may have caused the legal battles and financial problems. And if they didn't cause them, they may have to now address them and try to solve them. But for people like you and I that are just sort of ordinary people, this is a great time for us to make future plans. So I say, go for it. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that since yours is a cardinal sign, you do need to be a little careful to avoid people who want to do battle with you, particularly legally. So stay out of any legal problems right now, Aries. Even if you're sure you can win them, don't participate right now, because your ruler, Mars, along with the Sun in Libra, is still, those two are still opposing your sun sign, and Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring your sun sign. On top of that, remember I've been talking about wonderful trines among the planets, particularly among the air signs, the water signs, and the earth signs. Well, there's one element left, and it's fire. But there's only one planet in a fire sign right now. It's a good one, though. It's Jupiter in Sagittarius, and it is trining your sun. So you could be successful at making travel plans or going back to school or dealing with international organizations or people from foreign countries, or there could be a court decision that you are very interested in and that may benefit you in one way or another. But actually, this is a better time for you to be concentrating on future plans just like everybody else, because the moon in Gemini today is sextiling your sun. And that is good. It means that you might be able to make future plans regarding a temporary or a part-time project. That's what Gemini rules. Or you can be wanting to make some sort of easy transitional move, maybe just to a different area of your own neighborhood, something like that. That would be easy. So you could succeed at that. But if you want to come up against to the higher ups, I would suggest you stay away, Aries. This is not the time for that. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when you really should focus on the long term, particularly your long-term goals, and that would involve your long-term security, Taurus. Well, that could be dear to your heart because yours is a fixed financial sign. And today, Uranus is in a unique position in your sun sign, and that is because it is in perfect alignment with the moon in Gemini, which is right ahead of your sun sign. And so you could be interested in making future plans, but they ought to be long-term ones, not short-term ones. So yes, you could be involved in some sort of better communication, or buying or selling, or taking a short trip, but you really ought to save the majority of your serious planning time for long-term goals, because Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun, which is very good, and that's where you have Uranus, which is under very good aspects because it's exactly in alignment with the moon in Gemini, and the moon is being trined by the sun and Mars. In other words, if you could think long-term right now and just make a constructive work plan, doesn't mean you have to carry it all out. But if you just decided, well, first, what your steps are, first I need to do this, then that, and don't push yourself too hard, believe it or not, you could be very successful as early as next year, 2020. And that's because anytime after December 3rd, Jupiter will be in Capricorn, also trining your sun. That's why you need to think long-term right now, because the chances that you could succeed with your long-term goals are quite high right now, Taurus. So I hope you get serious about them. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, the moon is in your sign today, and it's being beautifully backed up by the sun and Mars in Libra. And together, those three planets are trining the sign of Aquarius, which rules the future. And on top of that, you've got a great planet right behind you, Uranus in Taurus, which is in perfect alignment with the moon today. They're both at 5 degrees. And so I think that in the background of your life, Gemini, you've got your mind on some pretty big money. And that could be a large investment, or it could be something that is of very high quality and also pretty pricey, but maybe you could afford it. Maybe you want to take the profit out of one investment and turn it around and put it somewhere else. You could do that as long as you're making constructive future plans. And these could involve working with a partner or bringing about some sort of treaty or peace initiative or some sort of negotiation. It may not even be you that's doing the negotiating, but you may have the wonderful ability to bring two others together that can negotiate things. You could be the agent for both of them. And that could represent something very nice. It's also possible, since the moon rules our families and it rules women, that you could be prompting more sympathetic feelings among others, and also you could have some yourself. And that means that you could probably solve a problem in a more gentle way, but you could be successful at it. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time of healing, remember, because there are now 3 planets in the water signs, and they all trine your sun sign, Cancer, because Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun sign, and also Venus and Mercury, which are tightly conjunct, so they're very strong in Scorpio, are also trining your sun sign. There could be some more money coming your way, either because it's financial compensation for a past injustice that occurred already for you, or it can simply be that you are now able to understand family members a little bit better through more sympathetic feelings for them, or greater empathy. And that could be a two-way street. They could understand you a little better too, which would be nice. So that could calm things down. Your ruler, the moon, is in Gemini right behind your sun sign, and it's being lit by the sun, the other light. So I think in the background of your life, there is the possibility that you could be contemplating an easy transitional change of some sort. It might be in relationships. It might be just that you decide to make some sort of short move or short journey right now, or even communicate in a little different way than you had been communicating in the past. And it could be very effective and sort of a softer tone that people would like very much, or a softer approach to something. But in the meantime, there can be hurdles to overcome. And that is because the Sun and Mars in Libra are squaring your Sun, and Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are opposing your Sun. You may decide that you want to part ways with somebody who is a higher up in a large corporation or government agency who simply wants to control or dominate you, and you may just feel that, oh, you didn't need that anymore, and you want to sort of strike out for greener pastures. Possibly that is a good idea. And the reason why is that I think that this is a time when you simply don't want to go through the struggles of working with people that almost make you ill, or that you cannot please in any way. I would give that up to Cancer. Go right ahead and do that. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I think that since there's only one planet in a fire sign, but it's a good one, Jupiter in Sagittarius is trining your Sun. It simply means that if you were planning a long distance trip, or going back to school, or working with foreign people, or an international organization, you could be very successful at that, Leo. That would be great. But if, on the other hand, you are thinking of future plans, that could turn out really well too. It's not that the plans would be completed right now. In other words, your goal, I don't think your goal would be achieved that quickly. With only one planet in a fire sign, things are not going to happen that fast. But that gives us all time to plan things. You got to do that first. And you could succeed at that. The moon in Gemini is sextiling your Sun. And so that's good. You could make an easy transitional change, or somebody younger that you know could do that, and you could encourage that, which would be nice. And then also the Sun and Mars in Libra are sextiling your Sun. So you're going to have opportunities to make some changes. Even if they're only temporary ones, they could turn out pretty well for you. It also may be that you are able to alter some sort of legal matter in a way that involves a compromise, so that something is more peaceful for you. And that's possible, Leo. And so if you wanted to take things down a notch and streamline them and make them a little more peaceful for yourself and everyone else, well, what's wrong with that? It would make everybody happy. So I hope you give that a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, you are lucky because Uranus in Taurus is trining your Sun, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your Sun, and Venus is conjuncting Mercury, your own ruler, and it's in Scorpio and is sextiling your Sun. There are a lot of planets that are favorable for your Sun sign right now, Virgo. So I just really want to encourage you to realize that this is a time when all of us can follow our own path. In other words, although your sign likes to be of assistance to others, this is a better time for you to make some long-term goal and a constructive work plan to achieve that goal, and you can do it. This time before December 3rd is a good time for you to do planning. After December 3rd, Jupiter too will be in Capricorn trining your Sun. So these long-term goals would involve your long-term security. And you really ought to sort of reach up right now, Virgo, and go for your fondest dream and put it into some sort of practice, or make a plan to do that, and realize that you could be very successful with that in 2020 if you get that plan down now. And that's all you should be concentrating on, your long-term goals, not other people's. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when, of course, you can be energized because Mars is still in your sign. But you know, it can be creating feelings of animosity or impatience or even anger, because that's the kind of planet Mars is. But it can sort of mellow out right now for you, Libra, because that moon in Gemini is trining the Sun and Mars in your sign, which is good. It simply means that you can work something out, or you can make plans with other people, or it might be that you're able to negotiate something, even if it's only temporary, that will sort of take the pressure off you. So I hope you work on that, because you've got to sort of calm down a little bit, Libra, and try to at least pick a few people, even, as I said, if it's only temporary, that are more peaceful for you, because that's what you need. You need a little peace in your life. So I hope you go for it. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when you really can be much more understanding and empathetic with others, because Venus is conjuncting Mercury in your own sign and Neptune is trining your sign. So that's good, because the water signs rule healing. I think you're going to find a calmer and nicer and kinder way of saying something to somebody. Now, it might be that you are able to sort of wiggle out of something that has been bothering you. And you could do it in a very nice, peaceful, loving way. I would do that if I were you, Scorpio. In other words, you could give a little bit of an excuse for not confronting somebody or not being around contentious people because you have a supposedly better reason to go do something else. Even if you have to make it up, I think you should, because healing is important for everybody, including you, Scorpio. And you may find through negotiation or a partner that there is some better deal out there that could really be good for you in 2020. So I would listen to that and free up a little of your time for your own future plans. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when, with Jupiter still in your sign, but sort of standing alone, because there aren't any other planets in the fire signs, when you may wonder why things aren't speeding up. Well, it is because people have to plan their moves before they do them, Sagittarius, and you do too. The moon in Gemini is opposing your sun sign, which means somebody who may be younger or people who you just know in a sort of a temporary or part-time way may sort of want to go do their own thing. And I hope you're understanding about that, because it looks like they have a lot of support and they may do that. So somebody could sort of be coming into and out of your life right now, Sagittarius. But you know, there will be others attracted to you instead, which should have been occurring all year because Jupiter is in your sign. So you too should be making future plans, and I think they're going to be very optimistic ones, and as long as you're practical and have a constructive work plan, they could make you rather successful in 2020. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when I think that you certainly can be powerful and your power can be growing, but your sign does represent long-term plans or goals. And to a Capricorn, time always works for you, not against you. And Capricorns are very security prone and they don't like to skip steps. But you know, you could be walking into a rather lucrative year in 2020, Capricorn, and all you have to do is get set up for it. So this is the time to concentrate on long-term goals and make your future plans now, because Capricorns are very detail-oriented, thorough people. It might take you a while to make your plans. And so you should start that now, because Jupiter is coming into your sign on December 3rd, and it will be part of this trine that's going to last throughout 2020. And that means that you really need to concentrate on your best career goal and really go for it. Get serious about that, Capricorn. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, Lucky you, the lights are with you, Aquarius, and that's because the Sun and Mars are trining your Sun in from Libra, and today the Moon is trining your Sun from Gemini. I think you're certainly going to be in demand, Aquarius, because people want to make future plans, so they could be very attracted to your good ideas. So this is a wonderful time for you to really communicate and get around a little bit, make some new friends. You may be thinking about an easy transitional change that's just in your neighborhood, or maybe transferring from one job to another right with the same employer. So you could do that, Aquarius. Or you may be wanting to make a concrete work plan for a long-term goal for a really good idea you've got that is sort of ahead of its time. Aquarians are known for that, being visionary. So if that's what you want to do, I think this is a good time to make those future plans and go for it, Aquarius. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when there certainly can be a little more love and understanding coming your way, Pisces. And that is because, and some good news about money. And that is because Venus, the planet of love, is conjuncting Mercury, the planet of communication and thought, in Scorpio, a fixed financial sign. And they are both trining Neptune in your sign. And the three planets together are trining the sign of Cancer. That means your family life could get better. It means that there can be some more money coming in, or some sort of financial aid that is possible to come your way, Pisces. Or it can be that if you have suffered any kind of injustice, there could be some financial compensation coming your way instead. So the news is good on that front. But what are you going to do if you get more money, Pisces? You should be focusing on a long-term goal that you have to set up in a constructive work plan. And you really have to do the plan first and realize that there will be hurdles to surmount, and it's going to take patience and perseverance and persistence. But this is a good time to get real serious about something, and it's something that could have a long-term reward for the rest of your life. That's why you need to get serious about it, Pisces. So good luck. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.